Welcome back, everyone. And now we are in full swing on postseason for two leagues. And I figured it's time for me to predict who's going to win the MLS Cup this year to start, as opposed to reading you the final standings. Mm. Starting with the Western Conference. And I'm gonna go in order from top to bottom and rearrange the seating based on who wins. And so, we have the Los Angeles Galaxy going up against Nashville. Remember, the higher seed gets the home game. And these two teams, I expect this one to be, well, they're all going to be pretty close. But in terms of how well they're going to play, I think the Galaxy is going to pull this one off. So I'll take the Galaxy over Nashville. Next up, we have Dallas versus Minnesota. Uh, I'm surprised these two actually made it here, and I expect them to do, do the best they can to advance. In the end, I think Minnesota is going to take this one from Dallas, because hey, you can have a rivalry in another sport and say no, thank you, we're good. But anyways, Austin versus Salt Lake. Hey, Salt Lake is the worst team of the seven, and based on how things have been this season, I'm gonna take Austin having a home game. I'll take Austin having a home game against the Galaxy, whereas Minnesota faces off against Los Angeles FC. There we go. So now let's move on to the Eastern Conference, and where we got the New York Red Bulls going up against Cincinnati at home. So, as for who's going to win, given how things tend to be, I'm going to go with the Red Bulls on this one. Next up, we got New York City defending their title against Miami. Scheduling conflict with the MLB is definitely going to be a factor in this one, because the Yankees are playing in a divisional series. It's possible that one of these two opposing franchises get eliminated first. But for now I'm just gonna pretend like there's no problem at all, and that New York City gets the win, in which puts Montreal against Colorado. Oh, nah, my bad. Orlando. Orlando is what I meant to say. Sorry, guys. I think Canada is going to take this one. Simply put, they're the better team, which puts the Red Bulls against the number one seeded Philadelphia. If I can update this. All right, now we got the Second round, Los Angeles FC at home against Minnesota. They're the supporter shield winners. And I'm gonna go based off of the NHL's those President's Trophy winner thing and say that Minnesota gets the upset on the road. Oh, and here's why. The recurring theme for those that win the supporter shield, or at least if we're talking about comparing it to President's Trophy winners, President's Trophy winners in the NHL tend to not win at all the championship that is. And I think that holds up here for MLS. Whereas we got the Galaxy in Austin. And the Galaxy have been known for being a successful franchise in their own right, and they've been here before. And I think their overall experience is. And at the end of the day, I think the Galaxy's experience is gonna take the upper hand. And hold on, let me capitalize that A. There we go. Now we got Philadelphia wanting some revenge. And it's gonna be hard against the Red Bulls. Well, but I think they end up pulling it off. Come on, how did I spell that wrong? Anyways, New York City versus Montreal. One of the things that makes the MLS good is that you don't have as many back-to-back defending champs. And and I'm gonna go based on that logic and say Montreal is going to advance. And which brings us to the semifinals, the conference finals. The Galaxy going up against Minnesota. Uh, like I said before, I think that the LA Galaxy pulled this one out due to experience and with postseason success. Whereas for Philadelphia versus Montreal, this one would possibly be a bloodbath. But I think it's Canada's turn to advance, which makes it the LA Galaxy versus Montreal. Oh, and at the end of the day, when all is said and done, I think Montreal is going to be the one that comes out on top. It's just simply their time. I might feel. The last for that is it now that we're done with predicting the MLS, let's move on to something in baseball related in the MLB because we got some shockers. We got some shockers here today. Hey, the Mariners are not punching their fans in the dick this time. I'm sweeping the Toronto Blue Jays. At least the Blue Jays went out of dignity and don't have to face the Astros. Os- Whereas Cleveland sweeps through Tampa Bay 2-0. Phillies also sweep through St. Louis 2-0. Apparently mediocrity is rewarded when you get hot at the right time. And in a Lowell Mets typical fashion, they get humiliated on game 3 to send the Padres against the Dodgers. I still stand by that it's gonna be Astros versus Dodgers in the World Series. So I did not get all that much wrong about the playoff picture. Sorry about the yawning, but we're now gonna move on to the National Football League Week 6 predictions. Another week of surprises is wrapping up, that's for sure. And opening up Sunday, not Sunday, opening up Week 6, we actually have four teams going on bye. Houston Texans are going on a bye week with an impressive win. Titans are going on a bye week leading the AFC South. Now, they could be dethroned by the Colts. Also, the Raiders are going to be going on bye week once they play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. And the Lions are going to their bye week on a shutout loss. Uh, oh, and now let's get to the Thursday Night Football game between Washington and the Bears. Yep, this one is gonna be a crapshoot. Ultimately, it's gonna come down to the Bears sucking less. I'll just put it that way. It's gonna come down to the Bears sucking less. Let's move on to 1 p.m. on CBS with the Patriots and the Browns. Yep, this one's gonna be something. Which is why I'm gonna make this one my tie of the week. How do you manage to actually predict this game properly? It's like, how do you even? And I don't get the whole point of how well these two have done with their respective quarterbacks. Yes, one of these teams can win, but still. There is something glaringly wrong with this matchup. The Bengals versus the Saints. Andy Dalton going up against his former team. The Bengals are coming off the heartbreaking loss, whereas the Saints managed to come off a surprise win. Yep, you heard that right. A surprise win. Main question is, this famous Jameis going to be playing? Maybe, maybe not. So, this is going to be my first inconclusive if matchup where I'm not going to predict this game until I have a definitive answer, or for sure. Or I may leave an update on who I decide. I may not. I may end up deciding later in the video. But I'll come after this one. We have the Ravens going up against the Giants. And yes, the Giants are coming off an impressive win. But the Ravens have done better on the road than they have at home as of late. And I think that they're gonna continue their rebound. Next up, we have the Jaguars going up against the Colts. Well, there's gonna be no excuses for them this time. The AFC South has become a bloodbath, that pretty much. And that's why I think the Colts are gonna win in this game. They look better. That's all I'll say. Jaguars were relevant for 2 weeks. Now they gotta go to Indy and deal with them. 1 p.m. on Fox. The Vikings going up against the Miami Dolphins. Oh boy, the Dolphins really do need to start bouncing back soon. I don't think they can last for long against the Vikings without Tua. He may be back this week, but at the same time, they may be stuck with whoever is their third stringer. Questions at quarterback's the main reason as to why I'm picking the Vikings in this scenario. Oh, which is their best start since 2016, believe it or not. So there's that. Now we have the 49ers versus the Atlanta Falcons. I got the 49ers in this situation. You just can't trust those dirty birds to do anything. The 49ers look like the more impressive team. I mean, yes, the Falcons got screwed with a roughing the passer call, but what else can you do when your team can't be trusted? Next, we have the Jets versus the Packers. Oh boy. Nobody expected the Jets to potentially be in the playoff race. It's not this early in the season, and and given how much better team the Packers are, I do not see the Packers losing home at Lambeau to another New York team after losing in London. I really don't. Yes, lag, but still. 4:05 stretch on Fox. Fox, I can tell you one thing. This game is gonna be garbage between the Cardinals and Seahawks. They both don't deserve to win. But if there's going to be one thing that leads to a victory, it's how well Geno Smith's been playing. And that's going to be the ultimate factor. Not Cliff Kingsbury trying to make good calls, but Geno Smith actually playing his best career football. Yes, I said it. Then we got the Panthers visiting the Rams. They're already on the verge of firing Matt Rule, and I think this loss to the Rams is what's going to get it done for the group. I mean, there's not much else you can do with that squad. Please. Now I would like to revisit Bengals versus Saints. I think I finally have an answer here for this. And I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this one so they can bounce back. That, that can still flip-flop, but I finally have a decision on that game. And I think I may have skipped over a Sunday game on Fox. Yeah, I did. Buccaneers versus the Steelers. Yeah, Bucks are gonna win that game for sure. That is no contest. The Steelers suck. They absolutely suck. No question about it. CBS late. There's only one game that's gonna be nationally televised. Bills versus Chiefs. Another rematch. And this is gonna be a good game. I'm surprised this ain't Sunday Night Football or a Monday night. I but we need to see who can maintain dominance between two teams that know how to play. And there's no way this game's into a tie. One of these teams are sure to win. And, and since this is at Arrowhead, you can't bet against Kansas City. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in this kind of situation. He's won the series overall. Uh, But simply put, this is bound to live up to expectations, and that's why I think the Bills are going to take this game. Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. An undefeated Eagles squad hosting America's team, supposedly America's team. I will forever say the Braves are America's team, as opposed to the Cowboys. I will always say that, and this is a battle for the division. The Cowboys have won the last two meetings between these two, both of which resulting in blowouts. Now, I do not see the sweep happening this year. I think the Eagles take it at home and they split against them later in the season in visiting the Cowboys in Dallas. It's, yes, the Cowboys are going to win at least one game in the series, but I think it's not going to be till later in the season when Dak's back. He's trying to eye for that game, but we'll see. Next up, we got the Broncos and the Chargers for Monday Night Football. And news just came out. Matt Rule is officially out for the Carolina Panthers. How wonderful. First end to the head coach for the season. They said they parted ways with Matt Rule. So that Rams win is going to be definite for sure. Now, as for Monday Night Football, I think the Chargers will win it at home. Of course, I forgot that. I forgot to turn on noise cancellation, of course. But regardless, I think the Chargers are going to win Monday Night Football. Rams winning over the Panthers is pretty much assured at this point. I mean, have fun with Ben McAdoo or Steve Wilkes, whoever's going to be your interim. They're probably going to go after Sean Payton at the end of the year. They're going to be in the tank bowl trying to go for the number 1 overall pick so you can select a quarterback that's more permanent. Then maybe. And this is going to be it for my predictions. And thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I'll see you all next time.